Good evening, Philippines, and good evening, PSME. Welcome to the fifth episode of the Wheels of Progress podcast, the podcast for mechanical engineers. I am your host, Boni Digala, and tonight our topic will be the mechanical engineer in the field of power plant operations. Our special guest for this episode is no other than our very own Engineer Deo Lutero Pineda, PME. Before we formally introduce our guest, we would like to acknowledge our partners and sponsors for our VGMM 2021. This episode is brought to you by the Iloilo New Agri-Industrial Marketing and General Services Incorporated. They are committed to be a premier center for post-harvest facilities and agricultural mechanization in Western Visayas. Their products include farm tools and equipment and other agricultural products. They also offer sales and rental of various agricultural machineries. They are also the authorized dealer of Kubota combine harvester, rice transplanter, and tractors. You may reach them through their landline number 320-6883. Also, you may visit their Facebook page at www.facebook.com/generaltractors, or you may email them at iloilo_new_agri@yahoo.com.ph. Or also, you may visit their shop or their showroom at the 5th Street, Lawaan Village, Barangay Balantang Haro, Iloilo City, near the Ceres Terminal. Another sponsor is the House of Ecolife, Iloilo Roastery and Cafe. Really good coffee at an affordable price, freshly roasted, freshly ground. For orders, you may text or call them at their mobile number 0967-3273-470 or message them in Messenger through their Facebook page. You may also visit their shop at Buntatala Haro, Iloilo City, or visit their Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Ecolife Roastery Cafe. You may also email them at ecolifecoop@gmail.com. Another sponsor is the Sumitomo Cyclo Drive Asia Pacific Private Limited, shaping the future together. Sumitomo Drive Technologies, Lafert Group, and InvertecDrives.com. Their country manager, Mr. Rico R. Docena. And you may reach them via their cell phone or mobile number 0928584491 and 0917-599-2998. Are you excited to learn more about power plant operations from our special guest for tonight? Okay, so we would like to mention those who are watching us live in Facebook. Engineer Glenn Salvedia, good evening. Engineer Rene Tormon is watching. Hello, good evening. Engineer Kiko Ritazo is watching. Good evening. And Engineer Juan Henry Kalingaon is watching. Hello, good evening to all of you and to all your family members. And if some of you are still in your night shift, good evening. Oh, we are having many viewers in Facebook Live right now. So, Sir Deo, it seems that you have many fans And now, it's time to welcome our special guest for this episode. Engr Pineda is a graduate of the University of San Agustin. He is a former operations manager of Panay Power Corporation and also a former shift superintendent at Panay Energy Development Corporation. He has more than 20 years of experience in power plant operations. He also worked for 4 years with the Ministry of Interior, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He is a Star Awards Group awardee for the year 2014 at Global Business Power Corporation because he was the shift superintendent, one of the shift superintendents who were in the plant during the Typhoon Yolanda. And also, he was awarded as a Model Employee of the Year when he was at Semirara Coal Mining Corporation. Currently, he's a member of the Board of Directors of PSME Panay, and he used to be the chairman also of the Global Panay Multipurpose Cooperative, the cooperative of Global Business Power. And also, he is an entrepreneur. I think our introduction is short. So may we ask our guest for tonight? No? Sir Deo, hello. Can you please greet our audience?
Hello, good evening everyone. Engineer Boni Digala for this Wells of Progress podcast.
Yes.
Manamugid nga salamat sa PCB Panay chapter for this opportunity to share with you my experiences as a practicing mechanical engineer. Of course, sa tanan man nga online sa subong nagapamati sa siningang programa.
Yes.
Again, mayong gabi sa tanan.
Yes, mayong gabi liwat. And Sir Rex Tiboke is now in Facebook Live and is watching us. Hello, Engr Tiboke. Mayong gabi, kag mayong gabi sa imo pamilya.
Mayong gabi si Rex.
Engineer Giho Sinoy is also watching us via Facebook Live. Good evening. As what I mentioned, Sir Deo, our introduction was a bit short. So, can you please tell us more about yourself? What keeps you busy these days?
Yeah, once again, I am Dio Lotero Pineda from Pututan. And, graduated my Bachelor of Science from the USA, batch 1987. University
USA.
of San Agustin.
So you're American, sir? American citizen?
Actually, Sir Boni, during one of our meeting, when we are asked to introduce yourself and from kung din ka mo na school naggalin,
yes.
When I told them that I graduated from the USA, the trainers acknowledged and informed the attendees that, wow, we have participants from the USA.
But the USA stands for?
But USA stands for the University of San Agustin.
Okay.
General Luna Street, Iloilo City. So, medyo tawanan na lang natin kasi, ganun pala. Akala namin graduated talaga sa Amerika.
So, what keeps you busy these days, sir? Do you exercise or you have a business?
After my work schedule, may gamay kami nga rice field sa Pututan. Amo lang sa lingaw-lingawan mo to maglibot-libot.
Okay.
Pag magparap nagbas makakahon kung pag
Wow.
magparapabalas.
Nice.
At the same time, Sir Boni, ga bike kami sa bong
Oh,
together with some members of the operation group.
maybe sir, it's a good idea to invite our fellow mechanical engineers, no, to bike together one
Yeah,
day soon.
yes, that's a good exercise, lalo na sa subong kay COVID
Yes,
para
sir.
makuha natin ang ating stamina.
Mhm.
So as to the details of what you mentioned regarding my experiences as a practicing mechanical engineer, actually, Sir Boni, excuse, right after sang graduation ko, ay do pigado gid. So I tried na makakita gid dayon sang trabaho.
Mhm.
So my first employment is from I was hired as a cadet engineer of Mech'l Mining Corporation sa Sipalay Mining.
Mhm.
Sipalay Negros Occidental.
Okay.
I stayed there for for almost 2 years
Mhm.
due to insurgency problem during the time.
Okay.
So nagkapa-problema, ginsulod sang NPA ang amon nga warehouse. Tapos ang mga blasting equipment namon to bon gin pangkuha nila.
Mhm.
Kag a week after kay daw uso to sa unang rally-rally, lumupok sa mga bridges sa may Liganes, sa
Mhm.
Mech'l, may tatak pa bon sang Mech'l Mining Corporation.
So that's why
So
nagaling ka to, sir.
that's why kuan ko kag gin-take over sang military kag daw medyo magamuna. So may opportunity nga nag-open ang Semirara Coal Mining
Okay.
Corporation, the
Mhm.
same mining corporation. So we took the examinations and we're glad that we'll be able, isa ako sa mga nakuha man.
Okay.
So I was hired under the maintenance department of mine mechanical.
Okay.
So we are responsible for the lubrication of bucket well excavator, conveying system.
Mhm.
So paano kami taga change oil, taga
Okay.
grasa ng mga
Okay.
drive pulley at saka mga
Wow. So aside from
tools.
operations, gali sir, may experience ka pa gid sa maintenance.
Yeah. So after my 4 years there staying in Semirara, yes, as you mentioned before na I was one of the model employee of the year. So during that time medyo fresh graduate ka, kinido kagid nga makatrabaho kag makabulig ka man sa pamilya nimo. So I tried with hard work. So my performance was considered to be declared as one of the model employee of the company.
Amazing.
So I stayed there for 4 years. And there is an opportunity nga may makatrabaho sa abroad. So nag-apply kami daw upod kami sa one ka but he is an electrical engineer.
Okay.
So ginambalan niya ko nga partner may opening dito sa Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
So we tried our luck and fortunately na-hired kami. So sa Saudi, we are responsible for the maintenance of swimming pool, parang mga sijin, yung tawag nila yung mga, dahil Minister of Interior, parang mga prisuan la sa mga royal family pan.
Okay.
So kami ang kag may mga pan na sa bon, may mga boiler din kami na may laundry equipment kami dito. Amo na ang nasupplyan kami ang responsible sang mga pressing machine, kami nagalabasang pan sa mga uniform sa mga military.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. So,
using
kamusta man, sir? Kamusta man ang life sa Saudi, sir? Nga wala pa cellphone.
is during the time ang ginagamit pa namon ang stereo lang ay record kanla. Voice tape pa kami na bon, wala pa na sa mga cellphone sa una.
Okay.
So may time is kung kaisa na gigda ka lang sa kwarto mo, na homesick ka. Pero ang ginatanaw lang naton na ang homesick basta may dollars ka lang pero mga every month na na-receive kag napadala sa pamilya mo, amo lang natanaw na para bawas-bawasan ang pagka-homesick mo.
Okay. Wow. So
right up I was able to finish my 2 years contract in the Saudi. And during that time when pag magbalik ko na dere for a vacation, nakita ko nga there is ongoing construction of 72 megawatts Panay Power Corporation.
Okay.
So ginatanaw ko nga parang daw okay man kung daw pabudlay man sa pangabuhi sa Saudi. Tapos kuno I tried man also my luck nga kung nag-apply dito. So during that time kinahanglan gid ang equipment installation.
Okay.
So I was hired as a quality assurance and quality control of the engineering construction of Asia, the construction arm of the Lopez Group of Company.
Eco-Asia.
Eco-Asia, yeah, Eco-Asia.
Okay.
So si Rex Dibuki, I think online.
Yes.
Partner kami diyan sa installation of equipment. Tapos kami ang taga QC.
So wala pang diesel power plant na
wala pa ongoing construction
niya,
pa lang.
Ara na kamo.
Wala pa ang diesel construction pa lang ara na kami.
Wow.
So after the completion of the project Bon, so we turn over the project to the owner, that is the Panay Power Corporation. So we're lucky na we were considered as to gin-absorb kami Labon to operate the plant. So when I asked my partner, yung si Mrs. Sabi, kay during that time Bon, may nagtawag ang employer ko sa Saudi na na mabalik na ako kay may padala na ko liwat sang visa. Okay. But when my better half told me na bisan tangkong lang ang sudan ta, basta maupdanay ta de.
Wow.
Daw. So, isa yung nakapaktor nga I decided na magstay na lang diri Bon.
Do ginakilig man sir ang nagalantaw sa aton sir nga si Engineer John Richmond siyan Espanyola sir. Okay, galantaw man siya kag si Engineer yan si Kio sir daw ka-inspire man sila. Do kilig. So ano nga bali misis mo gani sir? Nga wala ka na nagbalik ka na convince kid sa imo nga hindi ka na magbalik.
Amo ginabunan na kuan ko permi nga kay basi pangitaan niya kablas ang income nga kay previously ko ni sa Saudi ka medyo bigat. So ang salary mo as compared dre daw layo gid bala. So pagsiling na nga mo to ambal ko nga kung bisan tangkong lang of the night total so okay naman da basi regular mandara. So okay naman siguro. So amo na nag-decide ko. Wow. So to after sinabon, so we were absorbed. I was absorbed to operate the plant. So I started as a plant operator.
Okay. So muna sir, so before pasang Panay Power, which is the diesel power plant, ari ka na din, nakita mo na. Then during the commissioning, ara ka man.
Yeah, commissioning kay kami min ang nag-turnover during the commissioning.
So, in operation, ara ka man.
So pag-start kay sa operation, sa pag-start sa commercial operation, ara gid kami kay kami ang nag-establish sa mga procedures regarding sa startup pag shutdown sang.
So, can you share with us sir kung I think daw naka-mention ka before kay Sir Rex Diboque kung anong kasaysayan niyo dira sa Panay Power Corporation, paano ka mo nag-start, diin ka mo nag-start, nag-manager dayon pa pag-start niyo or supervisor dayon ka mo?
Bali, nag-start din kami, Bon, na ako nag-start ako as a plant operator, auxiliary plant operator.
Okay.
Then, after a year, promoted to senior plant operator. Then, naging control engineer after 5 years.
So naging control engineer ka dira sa Panay Power.
Engineer.
So, danay ka mo ni Engineer Rex Diboque?
Yeah, danay kami ni Engineer Rex Diboque. Is Engineer Rex Diboque responsible for the pollution control of the plant, and we are assigned in the operation.
Wow. So ara ka sa Panay Power na construction, commissioning, and operation. And then sa Panay Energy, ang coal power plant nato, nara ka man dira sa na-involve ka man dira during construction?
Yeah, during operation of 72 megawatts, siguro na-remember nyo before na wala pa ang PPC, na-experience nato ng rotational brownout, Bon. So, we're glad that may ara kita nga diesel power plant to augment kag to absorb ang mga requirements ng power requirements natin diri sa Panay.
Okay.
So, as a control engineer, we are responsible for the proper operation of the plant, and we have an established coordination with our consumer, that is PICO, during that time.
Okay.
So, while I think there is a problem with the Lopez group of the company na may problema sila to refund sa Meralco nila, so almost 30 billion yata. So, parang binakal siya sang global business power, the group of George T. George T. Then after kay ang expertise ni George T. Banking, nagpartner sila ng Merant company, an American company. So ang Merant expert sa operation, so dito rin kami natuto kung anong mga improvement regarding proper operation of the plant. So Merant ang responsible for the operation, and the global, si George T. Group of Company, sila ang responsible for the financial.
Okay. So then, yes sir, go ahead sir.
After sinabon nung mabalaan ni Mrs. T na ang banking as compared to the power generation, daw tuburan ang kwarta as compared to the power generation.
Sa power generation.
So si Mrs. T, actually, I heard that si Mrs. T is the one na nag-post gid lang I want bigger plants. So amo na sa na kwan ang coal-fired power plant. Okay.
Well, so before tayo mag-proceed sa coal-fired power plant, basahan ko din na yung mga comments. So si Engineer or PSME Panay Vice President is also watching us via Facebook Live. May greeting si Engineer Gio Sinoy. Good evening everyone. Si Engineer Pardilla, may greeting man siya. Good evening to all. Keep safe everyone. And si pare mo Rex Diboque, go Engineer Deo. And may aripagiti sa dalom comment si Engineer Juan Henry Kalingaon. Go Sir Deo Idol. And si Engineer Patrick Fernandez, pa shout out siya. So we'd like to mention another young mechanical engineer, Engineer Patrick Fernandez. Good evening. Okay, so sa ngaran na sir ang Panay Energy or ang coal power plant, anong engagement ninyo? Were you engaged also during the construction?
So after almost malapit na lang matapos ang construction, Bon, gin-transfer naman kami. Kaya kami ang pioneer sa PPC.
Okay.
So, daw parang kami naman ang pioneer sa operations ng PDC.
Okay.
So, ang engagement naman sa umpisa, we assessed kag nagasunod kami sa regarding commissioning and how to operate the coal-fired power plant.
The coal-fired power
May
plant.
mga
Okay.
trainings regarding.
Okay.
So in short, we na lateral transfer kami naman sa from PPC to PEDC. So daw
Okay.
pila lang kami sa operation na na-transfer. Kag isa ko dira nga na-transfer. So
Okay.
we are we are also the pioneer of the PDC coal-fired power plant
Wow.
as far as
Very-
operation is concerned.
Very historical ang inyong sir, engagement sa power generation sa Iloilo City, especially sa Panay. Ito, pioneer na kamo sa Panay Power, sa diesel power plant. Then, pioneer na kamo sa Panay Energy, which is our coal-fired power plant. May 3 ka units. So, you're very fortunate, sir. No? So, with your 20 plus years of operation in the power plant, you were there since the beginning. And isang araw ka na, sir, sa Panay Energy, nagkuha ka man sa operations after some commissioning.
Yeah, I was promoted from supervisor to chief superintendent. So,
Okay.
as a chief superintendent, bali ikaw in charge for the ship or whatever, kung ano mga abnormalities, kung paano i-deliver ang power to our customer, we are responsible for that responsibility, Bon.
So, didire ka na, sir, nag-shift superintendent sa coal power plant na?
Yeah, sa coal-fired power plant.
Okay.
Ang isa lang aling buwan ko naara ka sa operation, kung sa daw tubuan ka nervyos, kaya kung mag-pitik-pitik lang ang suga, isa, baka may mag-blackout. Kaya in the event ka magkaroon ng blackout, Bon, damo na dayon ang i-manage mo. I-manage mo ang media, ang mga businessman nga na-affected sa brownout.
Okay. So,
Kung
muna
ang
make sure
cost
sa...
ng brownout, there is amon. Amon ang internal.
So, na-mention ta kagina, sir, nga kamo isa ka to sa shift superintendents nga naka-duty during Yolanda, Typhoon Yolanda sa 2013.
Yeah.
Can you share your experience, sir?
During the pagpagli sa Yolanda, na monitor na namon nga ang bagyo gara nakasulod na. So gamat-amat sa diri pagadto alin sa Sara, paabot na sa may kakala ko na kuno to. Pero ang unit namon ara pagyapon kay ginabantayan namon maigi nga ma-continue ang supply of power. So pag nakaalabot na sa may malapit na sa may pututan mga muna, now may fluctuation of frequency na siya. So na-trigger ang amon nag protection sang over under frequency. So nag-house load ang amon nga planta. Pag house load, gusto dira lang ang power sa within sa compound.
Okay.
Kay gin-reject na ang load mo due to abnormalities. So isa na sa mga namon nga despite sang ara ng bagyo pero still ara pagyapon ang power sang ang naka-online pagyapon kami.
Okay. So aside from that, sir, may ibang ka pang madumduman sa una sa experience mo like sa PPC nga daw tama gid ka na pressure sa tripping or emergency?
Yes, ang isa sa mga kay during the time sa PPC Bon, kay daw medyo hindi pa stable ang linya sang Pico, may gamay lang, may mga problema. So kung sa gulpe lang mag-close ang feeder nila, so maapektuhan ang amon nga loading. So kasi ginawa mo lang ka lagas ang frequency para ma-compensate mo ang load.
Okay.
So once nga kung saan hindi mo man ma-kuan gid kung dako gid ang sustain sang fault, total blackout gid. So kung total blackout, ang isa sa mga kung ang fault sa outside fault, kung outside fault, pinaka fastest nga mabalik namon within 20 to 30 minutes, mabalik na naman ang power.
So drastically ang diesel, sir, no? Kumpara sa...
Kasi ang diesel, pinaka-fastest nga maka-generate ng power as compare sa coal.
Okay.
Ang coal, kay once nga mag-open ang breaker, mag-trip siya, it will take around 4 hours kung hot bank. Pero kung cold bank siya, it will take around 8 hours talaga bago ka makaproduce ang steam generation mo kag maka-drive sang turbina.
Wow, that's interesting, sir. So maybe we can, after this, we can proceed to our questions. But before that, I would like to mention again those who are watching with us via Facebook Live. Engineer Rene Tormon, may comment siya diri. My idol, Boss Deo. And also watching with us is Engineer Douglas Coronado. Good evening, Billy. Good evening. And also, Engineer Jelmark Articona Salvacion. Good evening. May comment si Jelmark. Boss Deo, isa sa pinakatisoy sa GBP.
Thank you, Jonas.
Okay, so maybe we can proceed, sir, to our first question. We have 3 questions here. We can,
may question ko pa, Bon?
Yes, sir, of course. We would like to take advantage
isang pagambal mo sa akon, Bon. Abi ko lang to. Kulitin mo, totoo nun nga. Totoo. Daw ginilanat mo ko. Abi ko, kasi makubed ko sa mubra ni Bonia.
Ako na gani, sir, ang masunod ni laban-laban si Engineer Diboke. Okay, so...
Okay, isang adlaw ko lang nambal. Tapos sabi ko, mga next month pa, ulitin mo, subong nagli.
Kagapon. Okay. So, may comment gali si Engineer Coronado, Idol Boss Deo. Okay, so
Hi,
meaning...
good evening.
Yeah. So, first question, sir. Can you please, because some of those are watching, and of course, we will upload this the recording of this video in Facebook. Those who are not able to watch us via Facebook Live, because it's a private group. PSME Pana is a private group, so only the members can watch this tonight. So we will upload this in YouTube, in our PSME Pana YouTube channel, so that those who are still students and those who are not engineers can also watch this episode forever. So may comment naman si Engineer Diboke, kuwagit siya, ga-observe gid siya maayo kay siya ng isa sa mga masunod, no? Ihatag sa iban. Ihatag sa iban. Ihatag sa iban pagkatapos ni Engineer Diboke.
Okay na si Engineer Diboke kaysa na in charge sa pollution control.
Kaya damo na siya ma-share.
Mata na si Rex, okay na siya.
Oo, sa contribution niya palang daan pag-issue sang ECC, Environmental Compliance Certificate, a big contribution to GBP. No? Isa sa mga men behind the ECC. Okay, so our first question, sir, since some of us are listening, watching us, can you please give us a short overview of what the field of power plant operations is all about?
Yes. Here in GBP, Bon, in Global Business Power Iloilo, we have 2 types of power plant.
Okay.
We have diesel-powered power plant and a coal-fired power plant, the thermal power plant. So in diesel plant, we have plant 1 and plant 2.
Okay.
We have 6 units, tag 12 megawatt per unit. So around 72 megawatts sa plant 1. Sa plant 2 naman, Bon, we have 4 units of at 5 megawatts each per unit. So sa plant 1, we have a Sulzer diesel engine.
Okay.
And in plant 2, we have a BMW.
Okay.
MAN BMW.
Okay.
So in PDC, we have also 3 plants. We have plant 1 and 2 and PDC 3. In plant PDC 1 and 2, it is an identical plant bond because similar ang kanila, identical sila, and at the same time, same ang installed capacity na. At
Okay.
82 megawatts per unit. So,
Okay.
Paduha, 164 megawatt.
Mhm.
And in PDC3, we have also 150 megawatts
Okay.
installed capacity.
Mhm.
So, our combined installed capacity here in Iloilo, almost 70, mga 406 megawatt bon. Not mentioning na we have also a diesel plant in Aklan and in Nabas plant, in Kalibo
Okay.
and in Nabas, Aklan.
Okay. And we used to have a diesel plant also in
We have
Mindoro, right?
also in Mindoro, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So can you please, sir, give us an overview what happens in power plant?
So, as
The
a
industry.
normal setup, I know that we have knowledge theoretically regarding the setup of a power plant.
Mhm.
We have also here in the following system in diesel plant. So we have a cooling system, we have low oil system, fuel system, air system, and we have also switch charge and tank farm.
Mhm.
So in cooling system, Bon, we utilize we use radiator as a cooling to cool down the equipment and to cool down the main engine.
So
We
radiator.
have there we call this thermostatic valves na in the event na if we increase the load, normally ang tendency sang makina ma-increase man ang temperature. So this thermostatic valve mag-open siya to signal the radiator nga mag-start siya to cool down the lube oil.
Okay.
So in the event nga ma-attain niya ang operating temperature, so mag-close naman yung thermostatic valve naton until nga mag-stabilize ang operation naton.
Okay.
So for the fuel system, the same, unlike sa PDC Bon, our cooling system, we use seawater as a cooling medium. So seawater naman ang ginagamit naton to cool down sa mga auxiliaries sang thermal plants. Like for example, mga secondary air fan, primary air fan, industrial fan, mga main engine, at sa mga turbina naton. So we use seawater as a cooling medium.
Okay.
For the fuel system, both the PDC and PPC, we use the diesel oil for startup
Okay.
of the plant. So for diesel, we use the diesel oil, then we change over to heavy fuel. Ang heavy fuel Bon in the event nga ma-satisfy yung requirements or yung temperature requirements niya, ang may ara kami dira nga equipment nga nag-monitor, we call this viscosity meter, na amo na siya mag-open ng pag mag-signal na ready to change over from diesel to heavy fuel. Ang heavy fuel,
So may common sila, sir. May
as a
common sila
bunker.
sa okay.
Yeah, bunker.
Starting.
So while in PEDC in thermal power plant, we started from the same as in diesel, DO man ang nagamit naton, diesel fuel oil. Then in the event na ma-satisfy ang requirements for change over to coal feeder, so we change over also to coal feeding fuel.
Okay. So, sir, the landscape of power plant operations, like from fuel, like sa of course from the fuel and then generation, transmission, distribution. Can you?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
once
something
nga
that
our unit already started in nominal operation or at a rated speed, that's the time that we communicate to the process to our consumer. Halimbawa, nag-stabilize na ang aton unit for diesel na okay na ang mga parameters niya. So that's the time we advise the PICO na we will synchronize our unit to the grid. So once the unit synchronized to the grid, we can now start supplying power to the PICO, ILICO, or to the NGCP. Kay in the event nga mag-synchronize ka, prior na bon nga i-synchronize namon ang unit, issue namon ang safety. Ang safety na ang mga breakers at normal position siya, naka-close o naka-open. So to make sure na prior mo namon ihatag ang feedback power, safely makuha nila, ma-accommodate sa ilang substation.
Okay, so that's the power plant operations, no? So
Yeah.
like sa coal, may fuel from coal mining sites like Semirara, Australia, and then so we generate electricity here in the power plant, and then distribution, transmission sa NGCP.
Yeah.
And
We
distribution
generate power, tapos sa NGCP responsible for the transmission of the power we generated.
Okay. And then to the households through the distribution like More and Eleco sa household. So,
yeah, we supply power to Eleco, to NGCP. Depende mo sa load demand para ma-satisfy ang load. So kung mag-ambala ang let's say PICO or more na mag-increase kami load, so nag-start kami additional na to compensate the power requirements.
Okay. Thank you for that, sir. I think we can, before we proceed to our next question, another engineer, young engineer who is watching us, I would like to mention Engineer JP Tablazon, is watching us via Facebook Live. Our second question, sir, from your experience, how do you deal with plant operations emergencies, such as sudden plant trippings, equipment failures, and force majeure? So what we mentioned earlier, like Typhoon Yolanda, earthquake. So how do you deal with these emergencies, sir, in plant operations?
Actually, Bono, as a plant operator, we are trained to respond timely in the event of if there is an abnormalities. Like for example, something that could trigger for the tripping of our units.
Okay.
We clearly define our specific functions, like the responsibilities. So that is clearly defined sa BON in the event on what courses of action ang imuon mo in the event of like for example, may sunog, may fire, or may mga outside fault or internal problem namo na may mga abnormalities sa mga equipment.
Okay.
So we define, as I mentioned, we define our respective functions and responsibility. Kung auxiliary operator ka, so amo ni imong action in the event of this incident. Kung ikaw ang control engineers for the communication, kay siya mismo ang nag-coordinate sa mga consumers namon, like for example, NGCP, More, or ILICO, nga amo ni ang mga na-observe namon nga abnormalities. So in the event na base magkaroon ng burnout o
Mm.
sometimes may arabon nga ma-blackout ka lang totally due to outside force in the case. So, like for example, kapag may emergencies, like for example, fire, actually, our company is ISO certified company. So, we clearly define ang mga functions kag paano i-restore ang equipment in the event of abnormalities. So, we have emergency preparedness and response team responsible to response in the event of these abnormalities. We have also fire brigade team, and as a ship superintendent, ikaw ang responsible as a fire marshal. Kasi ikaw ang first line of responder dyan in the event of fire. So
in terms of answer, in terms of mindset, how do you prepare yourself? How do you prepare your mind when emergency comes?
So, emergency ang inakuha na naman sa tao na just relax. So, just identify kung ano ang cause of the abnormalities. So, kasi kapag magpanic ka, so baka pag nervyoso ng operator, baka bigla nang i-pause ang emergency stop, hindi magkaroon ka ng rejection of power, may blackout. So, we advise our operator to focus on their respective functions.
Okay. Wow. So that's how you deal with emergencies. You keep calm, you focus, and you have to know what to do and to know the consequences of every action that you make. Okay, so before we proceed to our next question, we'd like to mention again another viewer, Engineer Maui Bachoco. Good evening. One of the members of the board of directors of the PSME Panay chapter. Okay, so we are now, sir, on our third and last question.
Okay,
for tonight.
Last question na isa.
So, Engineer Bachoco, may comment pa siya. Oh. Good evening, Engineer Bonnie and PME Deo.
Good evening, sir.
Sir Mau. Good evening, Sir Maui. So, a third question, sir. So, since you have a lot of experience already, aside from operations, you also work in the maintenance departments of several companies, not just here in the Philippines, but also abroad. So, because many of those watching us, especially here in PSME Panay, those who will be watching this episode, the recording of this episode in YouTube, many of them are young engineer many of them are young engineers, of course. So what advice or advices can you give to our young mechanical engineers who are still on their journey along the field of power plant operations in order to help them, like yourself, to succeed not just in power plant operations but also in life?
Yeah, siguro when you are in the power industry, because in the event nga magamay mo lang nga pagkakamali o pagkasala, it will affect the entire areas of your customer. Like for example, bilog nga Iloilo, magkaroon ng loss of power. So ang mga businessman maapektuhan, at the same time ang image sang company nga when you are employed maapektuhan man.
Okay.
So, ang isa sa mga i-establish mo, Bon, being one of the operators, you have to exercise deep sense of commitment
Mhm.
and be aware of the importance of your responsibility assigned to you.
Okay.
So, as what our president always told us, work hard,
Mhm.
work fast,
Mhm.
work smart, and work with a heart.
Okay. Wow.
So, kailangan natin ang teamwork kay ini nga activity bon is not a single activity. It is a teamwork effort.
Okay.
Kay kung walang teamwork, pag lain tong instruction, ibagali ang napindot sang isa, hindi
Mhm.
magkaroon ng problema.
Okay.
So, let's continue to arm ourselves by further studying more
Mhm.
and be a lifelong learner. Nila.
Lifelong learner.
Yeah. Just always
Okay.
remember na life is like driving a car and it
Mhm.
bears a semblance to a good driver.
Okay.
So do not expect na that you are always in driving on a highway. Sometimes we can experience rough roads in our life.
Mhm.
So I believe that being a mechanical engineer, we can always overcome these rough roads along the way. As what I've said before, dahil sa pikaduhon, before I am a tricycle driver
Oh.
at the time one.
Okay. Really?
So I was able to achieve my goals to be one of the members of the management team of the power plant industry. So if I can do, why can't you?
Mhm. Wow.
So let's be, ang number one pagidbon, let's be prayerful regarding our journey of our life. So I think I address some of the questions, Bon.
Yeah. So, based on what I can recall, some of your advices are to be committed,
Yeah.
to establish good relationships in order to work as a team, and to also to be a lifelong learner, and to be to be persevering in life despite of the difficulties. And you mentioned, most importantly, to have a life of prayer and a relationship with God. Wow. So that's those are uh, very very inspiring advices for many of us who are still young, and for those of us who are aspiring to become uh, members of power plant operations. So before we answer, can you please invite our friends, maybe some of your classmates and those who are under you when you were uh, climbing the corporate ladder for our virtual general membership meeting this
Yeah.
next week? Next week? It's
Yes, Bon,
next
next week, we are inviting all mechanical engineers to please be with us this coming September 18
Mhm.
for our virtual general membership meeting.
Okay. Wow. Engineer Eden Casiple is watching us. Good evening,
Hi,
Eden.
Eden.
Good evening kay Same Dogs. Okay, so
So, thank you so much, salamat kid Bon sa sininga opportunity to share my
okay.
experiences with the members of the mechanical engineers of PSME Panay chapter. Thank you so much, Bon, for this opportunity.
Maybe, sir, you want also to encourage everyone to be contributors or to be volunteers in our society, the PSME.
Yeah.
That's what you have mentioned yesterday, that because we are mechanical engineers, it's our duty to support our society. So do you have some last words, sir, before we end?
Yes, this is our profession, so we must support our profession. Kay amo ni sang choices naton po ni to become a mechanical engineer. So
Okay.
ang sino pa ang makabulig sa aton, so ang organisasyon na mismo naton ang maka-guide sa aton kag makabulig sa aton for to gain more experiences as a practicing mechanical engineer.
Wow. So that ends our session, our episode for tonight, entitled "The Mechanical Engineer in the Field of Power Plant Operations" with Engineer Deo L. Pineda, PME. So si Sir Rex Duboque, may comment siya diri. Congratulations, Engineer Deo and Engineer Pardilla, our Vice President. Thank you, Sir Deo, for sharing with us your experience in power generation. Wow. So what an episode tonight. We learned a lot from the pro mechanical engineer who have more than 20 years of experience in power plant operations. He was with Panay Power during the construction, the commissioning, and the operation. Also, he was also there in Panay Energy during the construction, the commissioning, and operation. And he currently is a member of the Global Business Power Management Team. So in behalf of the Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers, Panay Chapter, we would like to thank Engineer Deo Pineda for guesting our episode for tonight. And we look forward to have you in another time in the near future to share another topic. And maybe we can call it a day. So again,
So thank you, Bon, and
thank
thank you
you
also to the
also.
viewers.
Yes.
So keep safe, everyone. Stay healthy, and God bless the PSME Panay chapter.
Yes, long live PSME.
Long live PSME.
And this is your host, Bonnie Digala, in the 5th episode of the Wheels of Progress podcast, the podcast for mechanical engineers. Thank you very much once again, Sir Deo, and thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night, everyone.